And for me, having lived in Iran, and I'm going to say this continuously, and seeing what happened. By the way, they talk about Israel is the reason why the Middle East was at peace. You know why the Middle East was at peace? It wasn't Israel. It was because of the Shah of Iran. The Middle East was at peace when the Shah was in charge. That's when Iran ran the world. That's when Iran was the reason why there was nothing going on in the Middle East. The first time you ever heard the statement, Mark Bar America, happened in 78 by Khomeini's camp. Pre-78, you would have never heard those phrases from Iran. Iran would have been somewhere like right now, you know how we're sitting there talking, saying, where are we going for Christmas? Yeah. You know what the conversation would have been? Let's go to Iran. I'm being serious with you. We would have said, let's go to Iran. Let's go to Iran. Let's hang out there with the family. Let's go stay at the Four Seasons. Let's go stay at Hilton. Let's go stay by the mountains. Let's go skiing. Have you seen the skiing, what Iran looks like? You ever seen the mountains of Iran?
Ridiculous.
Have you seen what skiing Iran? Go skiing in Iran. And this is Iran. People don't realize. That is Iran. Wow. That's not Aspen. That is not, Montana. That's Iran, okay? Iran was a place that was heaven on earth until these Hezbollahs, Khomeini, these people showed up. And it changed. That is a proven case study. So as much as Israel wants to take credit for the Middle East being at peace, you know how the Shah was? Here's how the Shah was. The Shah was slightly different than even Netanyahu, because I'll take a complete different position here. The Shah got so powerful, so strong in the Middle East that nobody wanted to fight. With Israel, every once in a while, there's what? There's fights.
Right. Yeah.
With the Shah, top 5 military in the world, everybody's like, look, man, you do not want to cross the line with the Shah. Peace, peace, peace. And then the 25-year oil renewal contract was coming up in 1979. Hey, man, we got to make sure the Shah falls. Jimmy Carter, Shah falls. Contract, it's a mess. Then, comes Saddam Hussein, comes Khomeini, comes all this stuff. It's a mess. Ever since Jimmy Carter went to Iran to do a toast with the Shah December 31st of 1977, the Middle East has been a shit show. Ever since. This is the toast. Rob, if you want to pull it up, Carter and the Shah. Ever since this toast, this is the day. The last time the Middle East was at peace was this day. Wow. Pull up this day. That's the day. Okay? That is the last time the Middle East was at peace. December 31st, 1977. Jimmy Carter praises Iran as a what? An island of stability. What? What'd you say? Iran, an island of stability? Yes. A Democratic president called Iran an island of flippin' stability. Then what happens? They leave. Hey, man, these guys are getting a little too powerful. He takes a shot at the blue-eyed people. And you know what he said about the blue-eyed people? Can you pull up the video about blue-eyed people? Just type in Shah, blue-eyed people. Okay? Type in blue-eyed people. Just go to YouTube, Shah, blue-eyed people. Watch this, videos. Okay? How long is this? 53.
53 seconds.
Okay, go for it. Play this. Watch this. Audio, Rob?
Audio. Shut it off.
Not of, candidly, Your Majesty, is there no element, not of revenge, because that is not a noble impulse, but at least some element of satisfaction in seeing the giants of the West in some disarray?
Well, no, because their disarray is, I think, needs a restructure of their society.
The brown-eyed peoples are teaching the blue-eyed peoples something, is that?
Well, no, we are not teaching something. The blue-eyed people have to wake up.
Wake up to?
From their
sleeping pills.
Complacency for this torpor in which they put themselves by taking maybe too many sleeping pills.
You know when he said that? You know what year that is, Rob? Is that 74 or 77? Can you see what the date is on that? It's either 74 or 77. This is the last time the Middle East was at peace. The Democratic Party, Carter, whose campaign was Human Rights Movement, which was a noble movement, good guy, caused him to fall. After he falls, what happens? The Middle East has never been at peace since December 31st of 1977. Correct. We can talk about all the stuff that we want. And even Jews sometimes want to give a lot of credit for Israel. Pre-Israel was doing what they were doing. Iran was bringing a peace. And by the way, Iran had a very good relationship with Israel. And he was not a fan of Zionists. Mm-hmm. Have you heard what he said about Zionists? Can you pull up Shah of Iran on Zionists? You've never heard what he said about this?
I may have, Pat, but I can't recall the whole thing.
Shah of Iran Zionists. Watch this. That's the one. That's the clip. It's too long, Rob. I mean, you have to realize, I have a book coming out in September. It's a book I've been working on for 14 years. The character in the book is an Assyrian kid named Asher, whose mother is Armenian, who is about a secret society that recruits kids and develops them into future leaders of the world. As it got closer that this book was being released, in the book, one of the villains in the book is a former director of Savak. Savak is the Mossad, the CIA of Iran.
Still to this day, they're
Savak was, not after Khomeini.
Got you.
Do you know who contacted me and said, I have to have a meeting with you?
Who?
The former director of Savak.
So this guy is like
And
he was
came
dangerous.
to the house, and me and my wife and this guy and his wife, he spent 8-9 hours with me. We talked about the good, bad, ugly of what happened with Iran, the fall, all this stuff, because of this book, okay? Wow. And he says, how do you know me, that you're depicting me as the person in the book here? Because he read the book. Somebody handed him the book. And we sat there, and he says, am I the villain? Are you talking about me? And by the way,
excuse me,
he's the main bad guy?
I wrote about him as the character of the villain prior to ever talking to him or meeting him.
Wow. How did he like the book?
Oh, he couldn't believe the book when it came out. So, but the point here is, you know, sometimes Jews want to take a lot of credit for, you know, Middle East, all this. I got to tell you guys, if you're watching this a little bit on the Israeli Jews, folks, okay, yeah, the Middle East was at peace when Iran was in charge, okay? I'm just telling you. Middle East was at peace when the Shah was running Iran and everybody and their mothers would go to Iran and visit, okay? And Mossad and Savak were closely together. Mossad, Savak, MI6, and CIA would all train each other, just so you know. Savak was trained by Mossad, was trained by CIA, was trained by MI6, and then Iran's destroyed. Then comes, you know, the new Iran, the Hezbollahs, the Houthis, all this stuff, and then the Middle East has been a mess.
Can I respond, please?
Of course, sure.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, basically, that would the world be better served if the Shah of Iran was still running the country or the Ayatollahs? It's not even close. Let's not, I mean, what are you talking about right now? By the way, when Israel became a state in 1948, a lot of other Middle Eastern countries became a state because the Ottoman Empire controlled the entire Middle East up until World War II, up until World War I, and then World War II. The British Mandate of Palestine basically was taken over. Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Transjordan, all these countries came to be. Do you know one of the first countries to recognize Israel in 1950? Iran, the Shah. So they recognize that Israel had a right to exist. That's a definition of Zionism. By the way, do you know what country today has the highest approval rating for Israel? The people of Iran, because they know what it's like to live under a thug life regime. So the numbers are just basically adding up here. But what's the point? So, you know, you can be critical of an enemy, obviously. You can also be critical of an ally. But you know what you could also be? You can be critical of your own country. I love America. How many times am I criticizing Trump, Biden, Kamala? That's part of democracy. So you can criticize who the hell you want, and that's fine. By the way, do you know Bibi Netanyahu's approval rating in Israel? Take a wild guess. Israel.
And when wartime happens...
No, right now, bro.
83 points. What is it?
What do you think it is?
83?
83?
95.
95?
50.
32%, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
hold on. What's Trump's approval rating in America today?
40, 50%.
No.
Approval rating?
There it is right there, 32%. So what does that mean?
Well, what's Trump's?
The majority of Israelis are like, yo, bro, I don't like what you're doing. That's a democracy, homie. What is Trump's approval rating right now?
48.
You know the number. It's 42%. That's his ceiling and his floor basically for the last 8 years. What's Kamala Harris's approval rating? There's Trump right here. What's the number? I guarantee you it's 42. What's the number, Rob?
Favorable.
42.4.
Oh my God, how do they know that?
Yeah.
What's Kamala's?
It has to be, what, 20, 15?
38%.
What's
the point? Is that in a democracy... Exactly.
Well, this isn't a democracy, but you can keep going. I hate when people say this is a democracy. We are not a democracy.
We're a republic, but we're also a democracy.
How does that work?
Vinny, I want you to go read the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence.
What about the Pledge of Allegiance?
You saw a video one day that was like, we're a republic, not a democracy.
No, it's in the Pledge of Allegiance. You love the Pledge of Allegiance.
We're still a democracy.
You love the Pledge of Allegiance.
The republic of which it stands,
Yeah,
of course.
we're the republic.
But we're also a democracy.
I don't believe it.
That's like saying
We're Republic.
I'm a human, but I'm also a being. Yeah, you're both, guy.
Get to your point, please.
Yeah, but
point
just don't
is-
call me a Homo sapien.
Yeah.
It's true. What's Kamala's approval rating?
Adam, get
37.
to your
Yeah,
point.
get to the
I'm
I
gonna
already
go to
made the
Kamala.
point.
Okay, then we're moving on. That's it.
Is that you
Fantastic.
can be critical
All right.
of your allies and your enemies.
All right, so we're moving on.
Points be damned. Let's just go another hour.
So again, agree, disagree, connect. Have the conversation. Use the app directly. Ask the questions you may have. If you agree, disagree. I mean, Tom had a lot to say.
Yes.
If you guys disagree with what Tom said the last 25 minutes, ask him. Ask him and say
That's
whatever
true.
you disagree with and say, Tom, I fully disagree. Watch Tom all of a sudden get 50 minutes
10
right now
seconds,
for the
10
support.
seconds.
No,
I'm
pop
not giving you
up.
10 seconds.
The
I got
big
views.
dog of the Middle East
Here we
is
go.
who?
Saudi.
Saudi.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Exactly.